So folks, I'm really glad today to have Chancellor Modigani with me, Missouri S&T Chancellor, become a good friend and a colleague in the time we've been together. I know with a lot of things going on in the world with COVID, we didn't see each other for a while, but it's good to be in your presence again. And
thank you.
Welcome.
Marshall.
And I'm really excited to have you as a part of our engagement week. And I guess I would love to hear your thoughts on, as you think about a system, 4 campuses. Obviously, you guys work together collaboratively, all 4 of you now. How important is it that a system be engaged in different ways? Everybody has their own space. But how important is that for the people of Missouri and beyond as we think about higher education and big challenges of the state? Why is that important?
Well, again, there is nothing that any of us can do well by ourselves. I believe that SKAs, skills, knowledge, and abilities that we need to help the citizens of the state of Missouri is available, but it's available in a distributed manner. If you look at our Manufacture Missouri ecosystem, the MME that we are so gung-ho about, Missouri S&T has 28 faculty members that are manufacturing, they're world-renowned manufacturing faculty members, whether they're mechanicals or electricals or materials and all of that. But we have gaps. And the solution to a lot of our issues exists in someone else's drawer at one of the other universities of the University of Missouri system. I'll give you an example. UMSL, for example, has a remarkable capability that they are building up on supply chain. For our manufacturing to succeed, we must understand the supply chain issue, because we want to work with the small companies, but the small companies are a part of the supply chain for larger companies, Boeings and Emersons and Honeywells and all of that. So we will not be able to provide that function without UMSL.
Well, we're really glad today to have Dr. KRISTIN Sobolik with us, Chancellor at UMSL, the University of Missouri St. Louis. Welcome. We're glad to have you here as a part of our Extension Engagement Week for the University of Missouri system. Thanks for coming and being a part of this conversation. And I know that just in terms of introduction, you're our 8th Chancellor at UMSL. Came in as Provost a few years back, 2017, I believe. I know one of the examples that I've seen at your institution, you talked about the community leadership area. You've also got real strength in addictive behavior, working opioids, which is a critical challenge for our state. Lots of issues in the health arena in general, not only opioids, but other things. I know you've got a very robust college of education doing some wonderful work with outreach in the St. Louis area and beyond. The economic piece, the entrepreneurship piece is big for you, doing the incubator. There's just
You've
a lot
been doing your research,
I do my
Marshall.
story. I know your story, and I tell it everywhere I go. But as you think about all that and that richness, how can we take it further? What would be your vision for taking it further?
Well, I've always talked about that. And it's a great question, and it's what we're trying to do at the system level. We have all of those great areas of expertise that you talk about that has allowed us to be relevant within our community. And the same thing's happening at UMKC and S&T, as well as Mizzou and Columbia. So we have different areas of outreach and expertise. What I think is going to be important and crucial for the relevancy for the system is to reach into the other communities. We can provide that expertise for, let's say, a UMKC and vice versa, so that we are connecting, just like we're doing with Extension right now. And if we do that and we help guide each other and expand out on the areas that are going to be most important, we're going to basically be, number one, unstoppable and crucial for the future of Missouri and its economic success.
Well, I'm really glad to have you, Chancellor, with us. Chancellor MAULI Agrawal here at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. It's not only the student body here that you're working with, but that broader community, which, as you already said, is Missouri, and because of your proximity to Kansas, will reach into Kansas as well.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, from my role where I sit I look at system, and you know, Dr. Choi a few years ago said, we want to put some things together here. Why do you think it's important that our system, you've got fellow chancellors on 3 other campuses, and why do you think that's important that we really think about how we serve and how we reach out to the community? You talked about the Moral Act, you mentioned that. So I'd love to dig a little deeper on that. Why do you think that's important today?
So you heard me talk about UMKC. Now this same kind of thing was happening at every campus, and it is. That's great. But then how do we network between the 4 universities of the system and then create a bigger network, throughout a bigger net, so that we cover more of a community? And what is emerging is something really, really exciting, because at Columbia, they are emphasizing on precision health. And we are going to inaugurate that new building next week or the week after. I had a chance to preview it last week. It's very, very advanced. It's something very special for the state of Missouri. Precision health. Over here, we are launching an emphasis on data science and data analytics. Huge amounts of data that come in from the medical field, from the finance field, from marketing. How do you mine all the data to get value? But it has a connection with health, because we can use data from medical records to make healthcare better. Over at Missouri S&T, they are going to build in the area of advanced manufacturing to create a manufacturing corridor around there. Advanced manufacturing also needs data. So now you see the connection. So they will have the center of gravity for advanced manufacturing down there, but we will assist them from here. And we'll have the center of gravity for data science here. In collaboration with Mizzou, we have launched a center. But we will rely on a lot of the hospital work in Columbia to send us the medical data that we can analyze. So as we network, we can actually serve the state much better than we can do individually. And then also, we don't each have to create everything. We collaborate by creating excellence in nodes and then connecting the nodes together.
Well, Dr. Choi, we're glad to have you with us today. Obviously, President of University of Missouri, and I know that our group in Engagement Week, our extension colleagues around the state are really glad to have you join us for this conversation. Thank you for being with me today.
Well, thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here, Marshall.
You know, Engagement Week is one of those times where we bring together not only our internal faculty and staff, but also a lot of external partners. And one of the things I thought that might be good is just to remind everybody, you've got a new role now. You're president of the system, also president University of Missouri Columbia, where you sit, working with curators, working with stakeholders, working with policymakers, so many constituents. Where do you see us needing to go in engagement next if we're really going to make a difference in the state of Missouri?
I think we have to find ways to make engagement a part of everyone's life, that there is a responsibility that we have as citizens of the state to serve others, especially those that need help from time to time, but also focusing on the key goals of education, health, and the economy. And we can provide the resources, we can provide the research as well as the educational programs so that individuals throughout the state can find ways of contributing by engaging with their communities. And I think that will be a principle that we're going to be expanding upon in the future to make this university even more valuable to the state of Missouri.
Dr. Choi, I want to thank you for your time today. Great conversation as always, and now I know what I've got to go do next. So it's good to be with you today, and thank you again for being with us with Engagement Week.
Congratulations with Engagement Week.
Thank you, sir.